So here we go. We see now that there are over 23,000 products that all fit our criteria that we put up at the top there. Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to be sharing a Jungle Scout product research tutorial, and I'm going to be showing the top 2 methods for finding products to sell on Amazon. And so we can see up here the features. We're going to be using the browser extension and also the product database. So you can either click on those, or I'll leave a link in the description below this video. This is a discounted link if you use my referral link. I do get a commission for this. I just like to be upfront about that, but you know, it helps me out, and it also gives you a discount, I believe up to 30% off. And so in here, we're going to need that Chrome extension and the product database, but you get access to the full suite of tools. So step 1 here is to log into your account, and then we're going to hover over product research and then go to product database. Now, there are a lot of tutorials on this on YouTube. However, I want to be very specific and surgical with this process because this is specifically for Amazon private label, and a lot of people just go randomly selecting categories. I believe there are about 4 top categories that will help you find that winning product that will be profitable, and those would be home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, office products, and arts, crafts, and sewing. All right, we skip a lot of these because either they're too competitive, they are not good for private label, or they're just not as ideal categories. And there's a lot of reasons why I picked these 4. One of the reasons why is that they are usually consumable items. So if you think about arts, crafts, and sewing, people buying crafting materials, and they will usually be a better niche for you to launch a private label brand around. All right, moving on. There are a bunch of filters we can add in here. I will usually leave the product tier and seller type blank, so it will pick up everything. What we really care about are these filters, and a lot of people traditionally do like, all right, you want to find products that are, you know, at least $20, and so you'll put that in there. And then maybe max price of whatever filter you set, $100. And I have found good success with that, but today I want to go a little bit against the grain, and we're going to actually look for a little bit higher priced products, because higher priced products usually have higher profit. And so minimum price we can look at would be $30, but as you know, a lot of people sell products on Amazon priced at $29.99, $29.97, $95. So I would usually tick that down $1, so I'll pick everything up. And then maximum price, we want to look for products roughly about $50. Okay, so we can put that in there, 50 or maybe $51, just to be pick up everything in that range. So we're looking generally for products between $30 and $50 as the final sale price on Amazon, because those will have more room for profit there. And so for max reviews, minimum reviews, I will generally look for products that have less than 250 reviews on average. We don't want to have any minimum, because if we find products with 0 reviews, that's great. That will mean super low competition. Generally, that means it's a newer product and it's picking up steam on Amazon. And so we don't want to look for products with thousands and thousands of reviews. And really, it is not the end of the world if there are products that have even 300 reviews, 400, 500. There's always a way to compete and stand out on Amazon. Yeah, maximum reviews, we'll keep it at actually 300, because it's really not as difficult to compete with sellers in that range as you might think. And so a lot of things we don't care about here are net. So net proceeds after Amazon fees, after advertising. What do you get back as a seller when you make a sale? This can be confusing, and so I will usually just skim over that because I don't think it's a very useful criteria to enter. For ratings, there is a strategy where you can look for just lower rating products with 3 stars on average or less, or something like that, and trying to improve the product, but we don't usually want to go that route. It ends up being a bit tricky to do that, but we do care about certain things like weight. A lot of people will say And I have product research videos that say just go after very light products under 1 pound, under 2 pounds. But we want to open up these filters, and especially because higher priced products, not always, but sometimes tend to be heavier. We are going to look for products with a maximum weight of 5 pounds. Okay. Sometimes, there might be a product that's 5 pounds or 5 pounds and 2 ounces. So what we'll look at is products that are up to 6 pounds, and we want to see things that are generally lighter. This will open up a lot of products that people might skip over because it's heavy, it'll be too expensive to ship and store. But that's not always the case. And if you're looking at products that not everyone is looking at, that is a good way to find that winner. And so either we can look at sales, minimum and maximum sales, or revenue. They kind of go hand in hand. I am a big fan these days of looking at revenue because revenue is that final factor. Like, it makes X amount of dollars. And generally I will look for products, and I don't want to sell any products that make less than $5,000 a month in revenue. Also, for max revenue, we don't want to look at $1 million a month products that are crazy because they tend to be a bit more competitive, or staple household items which you want to avoid like the plague. All right, so I will generally look for products that are have at least 5,000 revenue and a max of, we'll put a ceiling of around 25,000 a month. All right, and we might even want to backtrack this down a little bit, so maybe 4,500 because if it's close to 5,000, that's great. But for max, we can keep it at around that number. And so here are our filters. Okay, we selected very specific categories, very specific filters to find lower competition, higher demand, higher profit products, so it's more worth our time. And so what we're going to do is hit search, and Jungle Scout will pick up all this data. So here we go. We see now that there are over 23,000 products that all fit our criteria that we put up at the top there, with at least 5,000 to 25,000 a month in revenue. Higher priced products as well. A lot of these have fewer reviews than 300, which is great. Some of these even have just a handful of reviews, and we can also see things such as the weight. And I think some of this data is inaccurate because there's no way it's 0 pounds. I believe that is less than 1 pound, but we can see and scroll through this sea of data. And let's now talk a little bit about how to go about filtering down and picking that top winner. All right, so the first thing I do when I come through this data is, well, I will look at the main image. I want to see generally what the product is. If it's a staple household item, like right here, these look like plastic plates, then I will just completely skip over that and ignore it, because you don't want to go down this rabbit hole of like looking at products that are, if you already know off the top of your head what they are, generally they're too competitive, or it'll be a tough market. So I'm looking for interesting products. Like this one that picks up at the very, very top is interesting. They are 20-piece pack pressed vinyl metallic placemats. And so the revenue looks good, above 5,000. Only 125 monthly sales, but we know it's priced higher. It's almost $50. So each sale might be getting $10, $15, $20 profit, which at the end of the day would be very worth our time to go and launch this product. It doesn't have that many reviews, 99. It has a good rating, so we know quality isn't an issue, and it is a heavier product, so most people will not be looking at this. So let's take a look. We'll click on this Amazon button here, and we can now see this product listing. They are doing a terrible job with their listing, to be honest. We see just one image. I am not a fan of this. You should definitely have all 7 images, highly optimized. The title is not very long, but somehow they're still making good money with a bunch of variations and quantity amounts. So what we will do here is, a lot of people would stop and say, okay, this product, going back onto the database, is making good sales, has low competition, maybe we should source it. But that's a huge mistake, and what you want to do here is look at the overall market. So this particular seller is doing well, but what about all the other competition? What does that look like? Is there opportunity? So we're going to come up here and copy the main keywords, and I believe they are pressed vinyl metallic placemats. That's my best guess. And up here at the search bar, we're going to go under all departments, so we pick up all the data. paste those keywords and run a search. All right, so now we ran the search, and what I'll generally do is I will scroll through the first page. What I'm looking at is number of reviews. I'm looking at price point. I'm looking at the main image. I see no one private labeling this product, which is a big opportunity there just to brand the product properly. And I see a lot of these products that have only a handful of reviews, which I believe is a good sign, but you don't know any data until we open up Jungle Scout. So that's what I'm going to do now. The extension up here, I've already downloaded it, so I'll click it and open it up. And so here we are. Jungle Scout is saying it has an average monthly sale of 190, average revenue above 5,000, average price about $27, and 207 average number of ratings or reviews. And the opportunity score here is saying a 2 out of 10 with medium demand and high competition. And a lot of my students get tripped up on this, especially the students in the Econ Project Zero course, because they see this and, you know, just being a beginner doing product research, they think, oh no, opportunity score is super low, might as well move on. And so I don't always agree with this. And what I always do is I look case by case in here, and I'll look at the top 10 or so listings, and I'll say, okay, how many have at least 5,000 revenue per month, and how many have less than 300 reviews? And if we do this exercise, we can see the number of revenue here that have at least 5,000 a month would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. Okay, basically 7 out of 10. That's $1 off, right? So most of these top sellers have good revenue. So that means high demand. And what about ratings over here? How many of these top sellers, these top 10 sellers, have less than 300 ratings or reviews? And we can count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10 have less than 300 reviews. We see 1 with over 1,000, 2 with over 1,000, and that's not the end of the world. In a lot of cases, this means, okay, people definitely, there's huge demand for this niche. So I would say this has higher demand and medium to higher competition, but we can see a couple of sellers like this particular seller, only 14 reviews and already doing 13,000 a month in top line revenue. Another one, 14 reviews, 10,000 a month in revenue. It actually might be the same product, but we can see newer sellers doing well. If we scroll through, we can see more sellers with only 60, 90, 25 reviews, and they're all doing lower numbers, unfortunately. But I always look through these listings, and I don't just look at opportunity score and close it out. I will look case by case and look at reviews. I'll look at what the product is, the price, and the monthly sales. And it looks like this has some opportunity, and especially to private label, you would be able to stand out fairly easily, but there might be better opportunities out there. And kind of like going to bat playing baseball, you're not going to bat 1,000 every time you step up to the plate. It's not going to be a home run product, and that's why it really is important to take time to do this product research properly and continue looking. So that's what we're going to do. So back on Jungle Scout in the database, what you could do here is take a note of this product and track it down, write it in a notebook, put it on your phone to come back to it later, because this definitely has some solid opportunity with a lot of sellers getting good sales, not a crazy amount of competition. It just come down to branding and differentiating the offer, but we're going to continue looking here. So we're going to scroll through. I'm going to skip over things like labels, super household common item. In a lot of cases, items like this have super low margins because they are just like bulk rolls in this case for probably people doing business. And so usually I would stay away from that. This, I have no idea what this is. Okay, it's a prayer rug, and it looks to be doing really good in terms of monthly revenue, sales, and lower reviews. So this might be something worth looking into. If we look over here, it's a bit of a heavier, larger product. So 15 inches by 22 inches, but it's super flat. All right, that could be a good item, but generally I am a bigger fan of selling consumables. So products people buy, use up, and need to buy more of. And this is more of a one-time purchase thing. I'm not saying it's a bad item. I'm just saying personally, I don't like to sell these types of products. And so continuing down this line here, We can see storage bags. We can see puzzle frames. Now here's an interesting item right here, 10-piece burlap bags. Okay, they're tote bags, doing just under $5,000 a month in revenue. Higher priced product though, getting 100 sales per month and only 12 reviews. But this item has bad ratings overall, and it's a bit heavier. So this could have opportunity if we're going in there and able to solve the problem. If we read these negative reviews, my guess is the material is weak, the handle is weak, and if you're able to communicate that with a supplier and fix it, that would be a massive opportunity. So we'll take a look at this one. And so coming to their listing, we see no private labeling. They're just selling this generic item. We can see that the price is pretty good. It's high up there, almost $50, and they have bad reviews or ratings. So sometimes I'll quickly look at this item. They said they're much smaller. Someone said they're cute, but they didn't like them as much for some reason. This is a good way to get some information about what the product is, but we're gonna come up here and copy those keywords, burlap jute bags, and put those in the search bar. And we will look at probably this one right here. So the reason we're doing this is because we want to see all the competitors. Also, I took a little bit extra to make sure, a little extra time to make sure this is the main keyword, because that really affects the search results. It affects what you get inside the Jungle Scout extension. And so we can see here everyone's doing the same thing, very similar items, no private labeling, no differentiating, not a lot of reviews here, which I'm very happy about, which means lower competition. But we want to see the hard data, and so we'll pull up Jungle Scout. And so Jungle Scout is saying it's a 5 out of 10 with medium demand and low competition, average monthly sales of 130, average revenue of 5,458, average price above $50, and only 67 ratings. So if I was a brand new seller, if I didn't already have my hands full with 2 brands, I would be all over this product because it has amazing demand. And we can count out how many have at least 5,000 revenue a month out of these top sellers, and it looks like a lot of them. The reviews, there is virtually no competition here. Okay, there's one seller with 500 reviews here, but as we scroll down, we can still see a bunch of sellers getting upwards of 100 sales per month, and almost like no one has any massive reviews or ratings here. A couple down here with a couple hundred. But no one with even 1,000 reviews. And so this would be definitely a product that could get you on first base or even second base if you were to launch this and take a little bit extra time to structure a better offer, read the negative reviews, see what customers are complaining about, running an optimized product listing with getting better images. If you're able to private label and put a brand on this product, such as an interesting logo, and colorful, exciting packaging, then you would be easily able to compete with these top sellers up here. And so out of the top 10 sellers, how many have at least 5,000 in monthly revenue? You see up here it says add. These don't count. I'm not going to count these because this is not organically ranked. This guy down here is actually the #1 organic ranked product, and these are all paying, as you can see, ads to show up here. And so we will look at this one as the #1. So we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I believe this is the number 10 one down here, have at least 5,000 monthly revenue, which is, I would consider, medium to high demand. And then out of those top 10, starting here, how many have less than 300 reviews? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, I believe, have less than 300 reviews. Just 1 has more. So low competition, high demand, simple product. That's something else. If you've seen any of my other product research videos where I talk about the backpack method, we want to sell simple, small, lighter products that are harmless. We want to private label and brand these products. Ideally, these are consumables, which I believe these would be if these get ripped up, or people want to buy more of these. They can definitely do that. And so this item would be amazing to launch a private label brand around. So what you're going to want to do now is click the video appearing on your screen to continue learning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.